I will be sending healing energy. I do have certain stones out and stuff. I am going to move some of these to the front so that they're more present in the video for you all. Alright, so we'll go with that one's there. That one will work there. And then I did want to bring in the rose quartz. So we've got some stones going as well. Um, I encourage you guys, do your checks. I have my shadow work journal folder. Um, do you guys have yours ready? Your utensils? Do you have a glass of water or something to drink in case you need it? Do you have a comfort around? I've got llamas always on standby, but do you have a llama of your own or something that can help you in case things get intense? Welcome, lovies, welcome. Oh, what's in here? Oh, here's one. This thing's stretched out. I know this was on the deck. This thing's like, alright, Jetson. Alright. Oh, thank you, love. I'm surprised you say that. I got like, I don't know. I don't know if it's 4 or 6 hours of sleep. All I know is I've been up since 4:30 this morning. I woke up at 4:30. I mean, like, out of my bed since 4:30 this morning. 4:22 to be exact, for anybody who cares about the time. But you should look into that. But yeah, 4:22. I'm like, all right, well, so much for sleeping. Like, I just gave up. I was like, this isn't happening. Right? It's not even a full moon. Like, what is going on? But so I've been up since then. Ugh. Alright, so I'm feeling a little bit better about that. It's up out my way. Ugh. Okay, kids. Welcome, welcome. Alright. I'm speaking to the collective, and I'm getting ready to start the shadow work. Welcome, love, welcome. Alright. So, I hope everybody has what they need. I'm gonna give it a couple more seconds just in case somebody needs to grab something else before we start with questions and stuff. Just cause, right? You never know when someone's gonna get the notification. I thought about keeping them at the same every day, um, but I like the variety in it. Just because I have such a wide collective, there's different people on at different times. Um, 3 years. Oh, okay. Hello, hello, hello. I am from Ohio. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Alright, guys. Let's see where we're at. Alright, we'll go like 10 more seconds. Sorry, I was trying to see the timer from here. Like, what time is it? So we're gonna give about like 10 more seconds and then we'll get into the shadow work. Yes, I do astrology too. No, I'm not marry you. I'm not. Alright. No, you're not. Oh, your first like of this conversation. Thanks, Viva. Thank you, thank you. I thought you were the other guy. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I'm not, but thanks. Alright, let's go in the shadow work today, loves. So, as always, just the overview. Those of you that are starting your own. These are just some basic things that you kind of want to incorporate. Lined paper is perfectly fine. I just went with this one. So today's date is the 4th today. It's August 4th of 2026. Um, we're getting into snaps. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. Okay. We're going to get into snaps. So your snaps are your thoughts, movements, achievements, things that you've done. And there's 3 lines there. Even if you can just fill in one. If you thought about like a positive, that's worth writing down. And congratulations for all that you guys have done, and all your snaps that you've achieved. Under that, we've got the mood box with a circle where you can just draw your face, where it's like, you know, and it doesn't feel like your face. I meant like a smiley face. Whether it's smiling, it's sad, an angry face, and then space underneath there for why. Why are we feeling happy or sad, worried, meh about stuff? We have lots of feelings. And then after that, we get into food. Are you eating? Yes or no? And if so, what? All right. And then after that, we've got water. Are you drinking? Yes or no? And then how much? Do you at least feel hydrated? Oh, happy birthday. The rest of the page has a note square where you can just jot down things, either from this session or things that pop up through the day. I do encourage doing a before bed meditation, even if it's just a 5-minute check-in. Day 1, we did faith. That was the wound that came up. Day 2 was rejection. Day 3 was completion. So if you're interested in any of our previous shadow works from this month, go ahead and check into those. Alright, babies. I hope you all are well. Thank you for them likes. We're going to move on into getting into the shadow work. Oh, hello, your sister. Welcome, welcome, guys. Aya Power. Alright. Some of you, this is related to the rejection when that came up. We've got prayer. We've got prayer coming up. So blocks around answered prayers. Things of that nature. Rejection and forgiveness. For some of you, I've got a denial of a prayer or it being answered in a different way. And it really pissed you off. This is not what I asked for. This is not what I prayed for. You call this quiche? You know, I prayed for a quiche and then you delivered this. And this is not quiche. Right. So very just not happy with answered prayers. We are going to get into the workbook exercises and then we'll pull more into the tarot and get more messages for you. Alright, I am going in the wrong direction. Check. Oop. And then before I get there, reminder, this is the kit that I'm using with you guys. You can buy the card separate. It comes with a mini book. It doesn't have all the exercises though. Or you can buy this with it too. And this is the one where it's like one a week intentions. So instead of going through a different one a day, you spend a week with prayer and then you move on. Maybe here in a little. I thought we were gonna have it pinned. There it is. Feel free to share as long as it's, you know, of light and appropriate. Remember, this is a healing group, so it's not uncommon to find people who have trauma wounds. Alright, we got some prayer. I'm going to put this out and we'll start. Alrighty. Alright, so I'm going to hold this up and see what messages you get. I won't be able to hold up the long time because I have to read a lot. Oh, and as always, if you're interested in writing down the notes, putting subtitles on. I recommend putting the subtitles on. It makes it a lot easier to keep up if you miss something. Okay, so for prayer, we have Cool Lemonade. This week's focus. My prayers are answered. Message of the week. This week, you determine what an authentic inner voice is and find out if yours is expressed in your present path. Keep asking yourself if you're doing the right work and if you're in alignment with your dreams. Tori's tip. On any journey, it's important to take stock of where you've been in order to gain perspective on your future. Cool Lemonade is a fable of reflection. Take time every day this week to contemplate a beautiful moment. Alright, I'm going to put it down because my arm, like I said, it does get tired. Alright, so the fable of lemonade. Yesterday I reflected back on the past 68 years. Now it's not very often I do that. I'm usually too busy living. I was sitting on the porch with my grandson Greg. We was looking out at the fields that we just finished planting. I don't think either one of us could move. It's nice to think that hard work tires out the young same as the old. The lemonade was so cool going down, I almost forgot how good it could taste. Greg said, "Grandpa, what's so funny?" I glanced at the lad. I guess I'd been laughing about the irony of life. If the good Lord had answered my prayer, Greg wouldn't be here. I'd wanted so badly to get away from home when I was a boy. I wanted to go to the big city and make my dreams come true. I was going to bring peace to the earth, become a traveling preacher, and show others the way. The day I was all set to leave, my truck broke down, so I didn't go. Once I got the thing all fixed up, the floods came. I prayed for them to stop, and they did, but in their wake, they left an awful mess. I couldn't leave my folks then. They needed my help. I prayed to the Lord to make everything okay so I could leave, and He did. My mother won a new suitcase at bingo, and we took it as a sign. We packed up full, and I was ready to be on my way first thing in the morning. My daddy came to me that night, and we had the only talk we ever really had. He told me to listen to what the Lord intended, not what I wanted. And he said if I listened for direction, I'd never be upset by where I was pointed. I still remember him standing in the doorway that night. The last words he ever spoke to me were, "I love you, son." He died in his sleep that night. I quietly unpacked the next morning. Darn if my black suit wasn't at the bottom of the suitcase. After the funeral, all the relatives were asking when I was leaving. Mama, bless her heart, pulled me into the kitchen and begged me to go. My daddy would have wanted me to go, she said. I had smiled then, the way I would with Greg. I knew the Lord was pointing me in the right direction. I was not meant to teach values to folks who were already heading where they were guided to go. Sure, I've had hard times, who hasn't? But I've never been disappointed by the way my life turned out. "Grandpa, you okay?" "I'm just fine, Greg," I said. "You didn't tell me why you were smiling." "Just enjoying the twilight, son." "This is great lemonade, ain't it, Grandpa?" "Sure is, son. Sure is." How'd you guys feel hearing that one? Did it bring up situations maybe in your life where you feel like you got mixed messages about what to do? Like, there's an answer, but then I feel like there's also a block. So where am I being guided? Right? And how did those ones turn out? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of a personal one. It's not, I can't think of anything right at the moment. Or times where it's like I said, maybe the answer wasn't something that you liked, but the answer was still good for you. It's just maybe not what you wanted to hear, right? Is that a little dark behind? Easy dance. Easy dance. Alright. Let's move on. First impression. What shows up in our life is who we are, not what we ask for. Being guided means living to the highest possible truth, because life doesn't happen to us, it happens through us. There is a gentle reminder in this fable to calm the mind and allow our life to define us. Set your intention for the week. What would your life be like if your mind could switch to serenity at any moment? The most powerful tool offered here is the ability to reflect with forgiveness and an understanding that you've been guided all along. Today and every day this week, take time to reflect with a peaceful mind and allow your thoughts to support the highest part of you. Think the best of yourself and allow others to do the same for themselves. For Tuesday, wait, hold on, I'll give you guys a second in case you guys are having those breakthroughs. Does anybody want to share any thoughts or feelings that they're having right now? What did you guys think about the what shows up in our life is who we are, not what we ask for? Right. I feel like a lot of answered prayers are sent to grow us to our fullest, right? Um, which is sometimes why the answered prayer pisses us off, right? Because it's not the easiest route all the time. Like, it's easiest to get you through growth and to there, but it's not like showing up with like a handful of money, right? That's not the answered prayer most of the time. Although it would be nice if that was it, right? It's like some situation like you get, the prayer is, I need extra money, right? And what we want the answered prayer to be is that stack of cash, right? Someone just shows up out of nowhere. Here's that money. And instead it's like someone gets sick at work and calls off and here's these extra shifts and it's like, oh yay, an opportunity to earn the money. And you get to prove how strong you are and how you can make it through it. And it does feel good. And yeah, there's that answered prayer, but it's just not answered in that preferred way where it's like, but this would have been easier. All right, this one would have been easier. Why do I gotta pick up them extra shifts? Why can't somebody just show up with that money? All right, we've got Tuesday, color reflection. What does lemonade say to you? Lemonade is the color of precision. Just the right amount of sugar needs to be added to make the sour sweet. This color reflects the brightness and creativity and has an element of sweetness. It offers the ability to see the details and correct imperfections without judgment. Lemonade is cool and decisive. It reflects the power of making a decision. Today, all this week, if you're feeling off track, lemonade reminds you to cool your thoughts. Allow yourself to be serene and open yourself to Spirit's guidance to bring you back into alignment with your desires. Welcome, 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 loves. Right. But, the power we have in these answered prayers, right? With the sweetness to the sour, it's like the extra hard work put in those shifts, right? The sweetness is our strength, our capability, um, how we can manifest stuff for ourselves, right? And that's the sweetness in it. The sour is like actually the hard work that goes into it. But and kind of the takeaway here is how much less would we be as individuals if the answered prayer was always a stack of cash? Um, how would you not have grown if it was always the stack of cash answer, right? Because when you think about those times where you need an answered prayer, that's where you're really leveling up. You've got some kind of challenge and you make it through. And at the end of it, you're like, yeah, I did that. And if you got a stack of cash, would you ever know you could even do that? Um, would that then lead to lack in faith in your abilities to say, manifest other things in the physical, right? I couldn't even, I've never really put in hard work. Uh, how am I going to know if I can build something, right? So, reminder that those answered prayers are really also designed to make us our best in the end, right? Not just give us the answer, right? Like, well, here's the solution that you need, but here's how you become a stronger, more capable, badass version of yourself getting it, right? So, how prayers are really answered and why. All right, we're going to get into Wednesday. All right, journal journey. Find your inspiration. Chasing dreams can leave us winded and unhappy. But remember that there's always a plan. If you've been sidetracked from your proper path, you'll be guided back to it. There's not always a complicated reason why things don't work out the way you'd like them to. Each of us has a spiritual path. Knowing that is the magic of cool lemonade. Are you sure your prayers weren't answered? Or did you refuse to hear the reply? You'll find peace when you accept the gifts you have, rather than pining for those you lack. Or sorry, pining. Alright. Pray and ask the great spirits to show you the many gifts they've already given you. The point of prayer isn't to get what we want, but to ask to be of service. Cool Lemonade reminds us to seek to be of service. Your goals are closer than you think and could be simpler than you imagine. Stop and take a break before proceeding. Today, write a letter to your wise older self who sits on the porch sipping lemonade. What are you happy your future self accomplished for you? Can you adopt any of these insights to help transform your life now? Right. So really with this, and you gotta remember why sometimes the answer is no, right? This thing may even be good for you in a way, but it takes you away from your best, right? Your spiritual path. When they talk about that, that really coincides with your life path, right? Why you're incarnated. And for some of us, sometimes we didn't get out of the small town. Um, but in the end, although we wanted to get out of the small town, did we really want to get out of the small town? Right? As much as we dreamed that dream, did we honestly want when we got here to live that kind of life? And it's just maybe we were struggling with liking it at the time. Right. All right. So we're going to get into Thursday. Make a connection. Connecting with yourself and others. Gratitude and enthusiasm help you reach your goals. These two exercises encourage you to look at your journey so far. By reminding yourself which of your dreams have already come true, you'll empower yourself to plan your direction knowing you can succeed. Excusez-moi. Solo exercise. Are there things in your life that you want to have, do, or be that did not happen? As you look back now, can you see why they didn't happen? What were the blessings in this? Make a list. Are any of these items things that that you still desire today? Be bold and declare what it is you learned that has cleared the way for your dreams now to become a reality. Be open to sharing your learning with another person and see what they have to say regarding your ideas. For some of you, timing or being conditioned and ready for what you desired were reasons why. Maybe the prayer wasn't no, no. The prayer was more like, no, not now, right? Some of us have not now prayers that are still going to be answered down the line. I've got group exercise. Write down 3 things that today in your life that were at one time only something you dreamed about. Choose one or all of them to share with the group. Discuss the process of their creation with the group, how you manifested these things. Now write down 3 new things that you'd love to have in your life. Could you manifest them too? Ask the group to support you as you make these things happen. So does anybody want to share like a dream that they made a reality? Right, I do love the high points. Welcome, loves, welcome. But yeah, mine I could say is starting this page. That's one that I've done. Definitely an answer prayer for me. Do you guys have anything similar? Whether it be like education, career, an art project, putting a fence up around your house, anything where it's like, I dreamed about it and then I did it. I'm gonna give it a couple seconds just to see if someone responds. There is no pressure, obviously. No pressure. Okay, typing can take a second. Alright, I'm gonna move on to Friday with meditation meaning. Going within. In today's meditation, we connect with what makes us happy. The key here is that we must only pray to be of service. Spirit knows what you desire. Finding happiness within will attract your desires to you. Let's go to the meditation part. Knowing that you cannot take anything with you when you leave the earth, that thoughts create your world. Think now of the things that make you happy. Having all that you desire begins with taking what you need at the right time. Trust that you will be offered the best. Whether or not you take what is offered is entirely up to you. Reminder, we have free will. For some of you that have been doing the shadow work over the last couple of days, this can relate to those, that lack of faith where I was talking about. Some of you guys, there was an answered prayer and you just didn't like the path. So he was like, no, I don't think it's going to work. Right? And I kind of put that wall up, a block in faith. For some of you, you're looking at times like that are coming up. Others of you, again with free will, those answered prayers, the answer isn't going to be forced upon you. Very seldomly in our life is a prayer actually forced upon us. You always have to be willing to accept it. Alright guys, we're going to get into the tarot and see what else we need to be aware of for this one. Trying to figure out which tarot deck we're going to be guided to today. Welcome, 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 loves. Thank you for the likes. I got this one. Maybe. Yeah, it's the little deck. Alrighty. We're going with this one, loves. So what else do we need to know about these prayer winds? Four of Swords. For some of you, these prayers that are getting highlighted where you feel like they weren't answered or you didn't like how they were answered, there were reasons why you ended up taking breaks in prayer or just giving up in prayer altogether. Um, Whatever came up, you're like, no. Because, for some of these, there were things that you prayed for multiple times. Um, and so those are the wounds that are getting highlighted. For some of you, messages about, when you would pray, how it would get answered, but how it was answered, you wanted to reject. Yeah, Ten of Swords. For some of you, you felt betrayed, like with what this answer was. For some of you, what's getting brought up is, you know, you prayed, let my child get better, right? Your child is an addict. And you prayed, let my child get better. And they are not, at this current time, getting better. Or, this is the stage that it went to where your kids started using more. And then they ended up, like, hitting rock bottom. But through rock bottom is where they built themselves and addressed those wounds and stuff like that. But because they didn't just quit using, um, and they had to crash first, you're like, my prayer's not answered because my kid's not getting better. But in the end, they did, or they are going to. Others of you, you're looking at a death. Like, you prayed for someone's healing. For some of you, this individual ended up overdosing. Um, and for those of you where that applies, that person was suicidal, so Um, understand why the ending ended up going that way. Yeah, duh. A lot of you guys is kind of intertwined where it's like some kind of death made you feel betrayed. That your prayers didn't matter, were unheard, that you were unloved. Um, then that really kind of caused a block. For some of you guys, you're going to be receiving messages on that death. And be willing to receive them. Because you can receive why that death had to take place instead of just being angry that there was a death. You'll be able to understand that it was what was best for that individual. Right? You might be in a lot of pain right now, and I pray that that gets easier for you. And I pray healing for you. And I do pray peace for you. That individual was in a state where they did not feel healthy living. They did not want to live anymore. Or, they had requested a transition. Some individuals don't like spending a lot of time in physical form. And when you can kind of understand that even though physical form will die, the soul goes on, right? And being in different forms and stuff, some entities just really enjoy being in an energetic form. They don't like feeling bound to a body, feeling obligated to a physical schedule in certain ways. They don't like the feelings of it. And they prefer to be energetic. So for some of you, that this individual just wanted to transition. King of Wands, I've got impulse being someone's problem. For someone, they didn't want to listen to spirit either. You know what I mean? Even if they did want to live, they just would not listen. And you may not know about everything that was happening, but, let's say, if you're willing to receive the message, things happen for a reason. And I'm sorry that you're still in pain. And I hope you can get through it. I've got 3 of Wands. I have you guys really stuck. For a lot of you, you struggle to plan. I have severely altered plans after this. You may have been like envisioning your life one way and trying to achieve it, and then because of whatever prayer that didn't get answered that ended your relationship or belief in prayer, faith in prayer, you were like, well, I just feel like it's me alone here, and so I'm gonna plan on what I feel like I can achieve on my own, right? And so your life definitely looks different than how you was planning it. 7 of Wands. For some of you, this caused triggers around prayer. Like if someone were to tell you to pray for something, you're like, fuck prayer, fuck you, don't say prayer. Um, very, very easily triggered here based on that. What the hell is the point in prayer? Hopefully we're moving past that. Um, and for some of you, I really do encourage, hopefully you are doing these journaling exercises, but like the other ones that kind of get brought up. Um, for some of you, just listing out answered prayers. Even if you didn't believe in them, there were still times that things came through for you, whether you prayed or not. Some of you prayed and, but you wasn't going to do it on a regular basis, right? Unless it was like life or death emergency, you wasn't praying. Like, fuck you in prayer. I'm just going at it on my own. Um, Going a little misguided, though, right? I definitely have you guys going a little misguided. Uh, some of you guys reflecting on that. Believe it or not, it's part of your testimony and it can help somebody else down the road when you're like, I lacked faith in prayer. I didn't believe in answer prayers. And so this is kind of how I led my life, right? Versus, I believe in answered prayers. I know that I am receiving what's best for me. I know that if the divine tells me I can accomplish something, then I can accomplish it. It's just whether or not, I want to put in the work, right? Ace of Pentacles, Six of Cups, Two of Wands, Five of Wands, Five of Pentacles, and Wheel of Fortune. I have you guys getting through this block with time, like really connecting to faith like you did as a kid. Um, and for some of you, that's been a long time ago. But I mean, like when you first got here and you knew you were protected, um, and you knew that if Divine says you got this kid, then you got this kid, and there wasn't failing. Um, Believing that like of answered prayers and still being loved, right? But you get this big connection, and it really allows you to kind of see things from a new perspective, like the world's your oyster, right? I have you ready to face in a different way. Face the Five of Wands with the Five of Pentacles. I don't have you going into situations with this lack conflict in you. Like very renewed faith. Alright, what else do we got for you babies? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I've got haters severely disliked. Ooh. Whatever prayers these ones were, this one was. Yeah. Your relationship with the divine got real strained. I have someone claiming abandonment, and it's like, but you walked away, right? Like you want to sit there and be like, God, you abandoned me, and I'm out on my own, but because of this one prayer, you was like, fuck you, God, I got this shit myself, and then off you went. Uh, so I mean, like, I'm getting accountability. I've got resentment, betrayal, betrayed. That's how you felt about this. You don't love me. You don't answer my prayers. You don't care about me. I'm abandoned, even though I'm walking away. Just being honest. I've got defeated in gratitude. Yeah, this left you like that Five of Pentacles lack, feeling ungrateful in life. I have someone who ended up, with lack of gratitude and just feeling, on the regular, like life's defeating them. Right. For some of you, that poem Footprints in the Sand is coming up. And if you're more in that like defeated, lack of gratitude, believe it or not, you weren't alone. Like for some of you, I have you turning your back and trying to run away, and it's like, no, like, I'm still around. Right? I'm still around. I just think I'm not there. Okay? I've got worry. For some of you, your lack in faith and prayers being answered is why you struggle so much with this. You might have high anxiety. Some of you guys are worry warts because of it. Here in the future, once you get past this lack more, you don't struggle with that either. If you can, keep those journals and those records connected. For some of you guys, that's where it's getting reconnected. Some of you guys, you're gonna have a clearer connection to understand things. Some of you guys, that's right around the corner, though. Like I said, some of you guys gave the finger and were like, fuck you. And so it's kind of like you're on silence until you kind of repent for that. But they still, still hoping the best for you. Right? Still hoping the best for you. Especially if you are trying to get your stuff together. But, you can be silenced. Some of you guys, they ain't hanging around like, you wanted to stroll off? Stroll off. Just being honest there. Love. Some of you guys looking at how this wound affects how you love, give, receive it. Um, and a lot of it stems from not even feeling loved by God, right? And so then you really doubt love from others because you're like, and it's pretty normal. You doubt that your own maker doesn't fucking love you. Is anybody else gonna love me? Right? They love everybody, and if they don't love me, how somebody else gonna love me? So you get why that's causing problems in your love life. Some of you guys really are loved, so just remember that. And if that's not ringing true for you, I suggest you get them repentances in. You don't want to be on the unloved side. Right. And some of you guys like embarrassment might be keeping you. Got hurt. Fear, afraid. Um, the fact that you can't lie to the divine. For some of you guys, there's different things blocking you from trying to reestablish that. Hopefully, as we go through this shadow work, and especially with the prayer one getting brought up, if you do those exercises, even if you can just jot out one answered prayer, you can't act like your entire fucking existence, nothing good's never happened for you, right? You've had answered prayers. You've had big ones, you've had small ones. But you've had answered prayers. Okay, so what else are we getting? Let's see what else we need from the mini deck. How else is this affecting my collective? Impartiality. It's very hard for you to stay guided. It's very hard for you to stay guided and balanced. A lot, especially when you think of things or try to make decisions. I have abundance. For some of you, you have an abundance block. You don't feel like you're as blessed, or you'll be as blessed, or that, opportunities aren't available to you like everybody else. Insecurities. Ooh, especially around the heart chakra. This one gets into the root though too. Some of you guys struggling with instincts, knowing what, getting clear directions. Like I said, for some of you guys, connected communication. This is getting reestablished. You are getting through these ones. Just while you're getting through them, have patience with yourself. And please make sure to give yourself extra time to reflect. So that way, you have that confidence and clear knowing, because you can get to it. Some of you guys is, like I said, that I don't even feel loved, how that's causing blocks. Others of you, this relates to self-worth. And then we got quest. Yeah, you guys are on self-discovery here. Trying to stay guided more, though, about where's best for you. Being able to communicate that with yourself. Being able to communicate that with others. Alrighty, what else did we want to get? We're going to grab some stones, y'all. It's just stones. Welcome, loves, welcome. Let's see what healing stones will help you. I've got Iolite. Magical powers, feminine, divine, work connections, and inspiration. Very some of you answered prayers in there. Titanium rainbow. Quartz. Awakening all chakras, ultimate manifestation, vibrancy, and powerful shift. I've got Labradorite. Shamanic journeying, brave, magical power, and higher awareness. Some of you guys are looking at blocks that got put up after you put up that middle finger. Because remember, gifts are spiritual blessings, right? Some of you guys looking at maybe getting those restored after you restore a better connection. And then we got green avertrain. Good luck, prosperity, new opportunities, and heart healing. Feel free to pause and pull and get energies off the stones if needed. I am going to pull you guys some affirmations before we close out. I always recommend saying these at least 3 times. That way, your soul can really absorb what you're speaking to it. If you feel directed to say it longer than that, or you don't really feel like you're feeling a connection with the affirmation, I would recommend saying it more times. Alright, what do we got? I have a big heart, and that's a wonderful thing. I have a big heart, and that's a wonderful thing. I have a big heart, and that's a wonderful thing. I feel like I'm gonna spell through that one. I usually sound a little slower. Alright. I radiate joy from my entire being. I radiate joy from my entire being. I radiate joy from my entire being. My thoughts, words, and actions are aligned with my values. My thoughts, words, and actions are aligned with my values. My thoughts, words, and actions are aligned with my values. I am an open channel for creativity. I am an open channel for creativity. I am an open channel for creativity. I allow myself to play and be silly. I allow myself to play and be silly. I allow myself to play and be silly. I am at peace with the flow of life. I am at peace with the flow of life. I am at peace with the flow of life. I am a sensual being connected to all that is around me. I am a sensual being connected to all that is around me. I am a sensual being that is connected to all around me. I move my body because I enjoy the vitality it brings me. I move my body because of the vitality it brings me. I move my body because of the vitality it brings me. Or because I enjoy the vitality it brings me. Look at me fucking up that affirmation. Okay, well, I said, I move my body because I enjoy the vitality it brings me. Alright, got me. I'm rocking it like usual. Alright. I have healthy boundaries in all areas of my life. I have healthy boundaries in all areas of my life. Oh, that's blurry. I have healthy boundaries in all areas of my life. Alright, and last one on the bottom. I am in the process of positive change. I am in the process of positive change. I am in the process of positive change. Alright, guys. Please congratulate yourselves on showing up today, doing the work, receiving the messages, and loving yourself, right? Trying your best. That's nothing small. Alright. We brown llama and end it with the llama dance. Getting healed today. And booty shake with it. We really didn't take the tag off because it makes the butt cuter. I'm forgetting that. Getting healed today. Right? Look what you got. Happy llama. Yay. Sometimes shadow work can be intense, and so I know, everybody's at a different place. But who can't use a smile? And how does the llama not make us want to smile? Right? You did awesome today. Cheer for yourselves. Go you. Go you. You're awesome. Yay. Right? So, congratulate yourselves. And I do hope to see you tomorrow for day 5. Alright. I love you guys. Thank you all who like and subscribe. And if you're interested in keeping in connection, then please subscribe so you get those updates. Alright. Loves you, loves you. Bye, guys.